Hi guys, back again with me, Austin from Boyd Heart. Today I'm going to share to you my experience on Hasbro Star Wars Black Series 3/4 inch Scariff Stormtrooper Squad Leader. Okay, so let's take a look at the packaging first. Again, it's a typical current modern Black Series figure packaging with the artwork. So that's him. And the name there, very detailed for you to read. Alright, and then nothing, lettering, blah blah, and another blah blah. A bit of background at the back. You can pause now if you want to. So this guys, just to note a bit of the point is that these guys are special trooper on Scariff, on the military headquarters, which became the place where the famous Battle of Scariff came to happen, where all the Rogue One members, or the Rogue One heroes, managed to snatch or stole what do you call? Managed to steal. Sorry, grammar. Managed to steal the Death Star. What do you call that? Map, something like that. Architecture, yeah, something like that. Okay. Sorry, English is not my mother tongue, so please bear with me throughout the videos. And this, it is noted, it says that shore troopers. So it is the first time I realized that these guys maybe can be called shore troopers in a way, right? So let's take a look at the figure. Right. So here's the figure, nicely crafted, very nice looking figure. Okay, so that's good. Packed with articulations, always. Okay, so let's get to the closer look. So let's take a closer look. Right, so the head sculpt or the helmet is just like the trooper counterpart. There's no heads inside. It's just, this is the head that is attached with the ball joint. Right, so maybe one day if Hasbro is nice enough to us, then they'll make the kind of helmet version with the proper human head. But as for now, I'm okay with this. And then this special trooper seems to be, this kind of helmet, in this shape of the helmet, is somewhat similar to the one in the Death Trooper as well. Okay, and then a bit of red there. Right, I like the coloring. It's very sandy, right? Because it does suit the theme of this army, of this trooper. Right, they are the Coastal Guard. Baywatch? There's a lifeguard. But yeah, alright, it's very similar. And the back. Okay. And then the armor, body armor. I like this red part, right? So still very sandy color. And the pocket is here, somewhat, I don't know, it's supposed to be attached with the belt or not, but it's just molded there, whereas in the Death Trooper it is molded on the face. Okay, and then there's a bit of this part sticking out. It is very thick, quite thick, very solid, but it's okay. In the modern figure, it doesn't really hinders anything. That I'll show you later. And then at the back, always with this, you know, kind of backpack, bag shape, you know, the square signature of the stormtrooper, but with different kind of molding here, different kind of this part. I've never seen something like this before. Right, it's different also compared to the Death Trooper. Oh, now I realize it. Alright, there's a bit of kind of a leathery part, maybe a small pocket there. So just a little nice touch there. That's okay. Alright, and then this looks like it's very dark brownish. And then the shin guard. Alright, at the back, and of course the shoes, the boots maybe, I'm not sure. I think they're supposed to wear boots, right? Walking on the shore. No, it's really nice. Everything is nice. Nothing. I realize if you notice, everywhere in this figure is being worn out. It's being weathered, right? Well, all the spots, the dirty, you know, there's all the spots here and there, right? On the helmets, on the arms, even on the shins, right? Even more so. And at the back, you know, the back part, everything is weathered. I appreciate that. I really like a weathered look on my figure. That's really nice that they provide that. I think, well, it's just my personal opinion, but what they are trying to do here, they want to create that kind of personality that we have with the Sand Trooper. You know, all the weather because of the environment. So because of this guy wandering around in the shore coastal area, so that's maybe it's because of that. I'm not sure why it's black, but I think that's what they want to achieve, what they want to accomplish, and I appreciate that again. Yeah. Alright, so that's good. Another thing to note though, which is a bit strange, is that notice that on the packaging it says that this is supposed to be the squad leader of the Scariff Stormtrooper, right? And then if we look back at the Death Trooper, they actually gave us options with the fast, so we can either put the fast to show the ranks, and then take it off to create more generic, you know, Death Trooper, the low rank Death Trooper, low rank. But then here, we cannot find anything to, you know, to detach, or nothing in the armor that you can detach really. So I did a bit of my research, and surprisingly, that, you know, even compared to the 6-inch version, then I realized that this is not the squad leader. You know why? If you look at the 6-inch version, which I don't have right now, I'm sorry, the squad leader can be is noticeable by the blue coloring, you know, kind of blue, light blue, or what they call sand blue coloring, which goes from the shoulder pad all the way to the chest here, and then all the way to the next shoulder pad. So it'll be a bit of blue tint, a blue line, blue stripes there. Then that's the indication that he is a squad leader. Alright, of course there's the captain, but if this is supposed to be the squad leader, alright, then I think they're missing the mark, because this is supposed to be a normal Scariff stormtrooper. Alright, the squad leader should have the blue stripes on it, right? So at first, when I look at it, I thought, oh, okay, maybe they are trying to make something like the snowtrooper, with the leader and the normal snowtrooper. That someday they will release it. But then I realized this is the regular, Scariff trooper. All right, so that's just something to note. Okay, I'm okay with the figure actually, but it's just something to note. All right. I've played with it a bit and I really like it, and maybe I just show you the articulation. Okay, the head is on ball joint, always Black Series, so you can turn it around 360. A bit of downward movement, so that's good, right? Nothing much to outward, right? It's facing front only. And then on the shoulder, I noticed that despite having the shoulder pad here, but because the articulation is deeper inside, it doesn't hinder the articulation, so that's really good. Notice this shoulder part is getting in to this black part, right? So I think that's a nice move, I really like it. So this is the extent of the arm, but you can always turn it around, like always, right? So you can do that if you want to, right? Okay, so unfortunately you can really open the arms to this side, and this side, because it now hinders it. It's okay though. It still works. Right, upward is okay with this one. And then the elbow can bend this much. You can turn it around, so that's great. The wrist, you can turn it around. Now I want to check if there's any swivel there. No, nothing. Alright, well, how about this one? The trigger finger. I really hope they give something. Oh, yes, there is on the top there, so you can do this. Alright, so that's good. Is it not there? Oh yes, you can do this as well. So on the left hand you have this kind of motion, okay? It's kind of, whereas on the right hand you can do this kind of motion. So that's good. It really helps with the, with holding the gun, right? That's good. All right. And then abs, torso, sorry. Yes, a bit of the crunch. You can turn it around 360. Look at that. Alright. Nothing on the waist though, but it is compensated by the torso articulation. And then now I realize that this kind of joints on the leg is the one that normally being given by the Marvel action figures. I think the modern one at least. So that's good, right? We have a swivel there, so we can do this kind of split depending on how you want to do it. You want to arrange it, you can use that joint to do a front kick. It is a bit hindered by this piece, but that's okay. Or you can somehow arrange it to kick to the side, or even arrange it to kick to the back. Let me try if it's possible. Alright, it's not really a kick to the back, but yeah, that's pretty much what I can do, right? What this guy can do, because it is hindered by this. But at least with this kind of joint, you can open your leg wide, right? It's something that you cannot have with mere swivel. Swivel can only do the front, but they cannot do this. Those kind of joint cannot do this. And of course, there's another portion there, another joint, which allows you to rotate the entire leg, right? And then the knee, you can bend it. Well, it's not a full 90 degrees, too bad. Right, let me try with the right one. Yeah, it's kind of hindered with this part of the shin guard or the entire boot. So that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, you can of course turn it around like always. It's just that this band is hindered. And then you can turn the ankle around. No rocker ankle, of course. But you can move up and down. So I think that's good enough. It's more than capable to give a lot of pose, dynamic posing. So that's good. Alright. Now, as you notice also at the beginning of the video, the figure was holding his signature Stormtrooper blaster. Alright. It is nicely painted in a kind of dark metallic gray. It's the normal stone. I think it's not sure if it's a different mold, but it seems very similar to the normal common Stormtrooper blaster. Maybe a bit of modification here and there, but seems very similar. Similar concept, right? And thank God the trigger finger can hold the gun very tightly. Even you can put the trigger inside, the trigger finger inside. So that's really awesome, right? So the figure can hold it very nicely, and this time around Hasbro is nice enough to give us a proper gripping hand on the, well, I'm not saying that they haven't gave us this, but just want to say that this one really works. Okay, this one also works. That's good. Alright, you can pose it while holding with two hands. Now, I think the only sad thing is that you cannot put it somewhere. There's no holster that can where you can put this. Basically, it's not there. I cannot find it. Sorry about it. Yeah, I don't think there is. But you can always just grab him, equip him with this mighty blaster, and he'll be able to defend the Empire, although most of them died, killed by the Empire themselves. Alright, so that's cool. So let's measure him up, like always. I think he's not as tall as the Death Trooper. He's roughly 3.567, about 3.7 inches, I think. Yeah, a bit more, somewhere around 3.75 maybe, right? Okay, so he's not as tall as the Death Trooper. Let's compare him to the Death Trooper. Alright, so the Trooper is taller and skinnier. Look at Look at those legs, man. It's like they're wearing skinny jeans. Alright. Nice. And then this is even compared to the old mold Stormtrooper. The Stormtrooper is shorter, somewhat. Alright. Okay. Now this is him compared to Jyn Erso with her mighty hood, by the way. Oh, I love it. And Jyn is always smaller to everyone, I guess so. Well, can't be helped. Can we say maybe blame this to Felicity Jones? It's okay. Short doesn't mean that she's not tough, right? So we compare to GIG figures. It's a bit shorter, but as always, I mentioned it many times that Star Wars is mainly 3/4 inch purely, so they're not in the 4-inch scale to be exact, right? And maybe lastly with Ahsoka Tano, although she's probably died by then. Alright, so overall I really like this figure. It's very playable, it's very fun, accessories is working fine. I like the dirty weathered look, right? Although the articulation is somewhat a bit hindered with the shin guard, but it still works, you know. Still can pose him. I mean, just you can just pose him really well even without the stand, so that's already a plus point, you know, for this kind of figure. The only thing to note, maybe if I can complain, is that the fact it's stated as squad leader, but then, you know, there's you know, the blue stripe is not there. And oh, the other thing, you know, normally the squad leader has this the back side of the armor. It's just like Captain Rex, you know. They always, even on the Clone Wars era, they always has this kind of armor on the waist, you know, but it's not there. So of course I like it this way better, you know. Most of the figures with that kind of covering, that really hinders the articulation. But at least I'm not sure if it's the fault on the packaging side, or it's the fault on really, you know, on the painting side, or it's just simply a cost-cutting measure. I'm not sure, or maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm just that's maybe my mistake on my research. Or maybe a squad leader doesn't necessarily have this blue stripe. Or maybe the blue stripe is supposed to be here, not really, right? So I'm not sure about that, but overall, again, I say I really like this figure. I'm not going to do army building with this, but if you like this figure, I really recommend it. It's really playable, it's really fun, accessories is working fine. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Austin from White Heart. Goodbye.